So Hamza, welcome to Babylon.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Cool. So where are you from?
So my story is quite interesting. I was born and raised in Pakistan,
Okay.
and then at age 18, I moved to Singapore to do my undergraduate education. I lived there for 15 years,
What were you studying there?
and I studied engineering. After that, once I got married, my wife and I, we were having a bit of trouble really settling into Singapore fully, so we decided to move to Ireland. She was an Irish citizen, so it made more sense to come here.
She was an Irish citizen living in Singapore.
No, she was an Irish citizen living in Pakistan. We got married. She moved to Singapore. We tried to make a go of it over there. It wasn't really working, so we moved here.
All right. Okay. And then what did you think of Ireland when you arrived?
It's nice, very pleasant, great sense of humour in the folks here.
All right. And what did you think of the country? Like, you know, the weather, the food, the culture, the music scene. What did you think of the music scene when you arrived?
Well, the weather has some similarities in that, like at the equator, it rains a lot, although it's cold. The food I definitely enjoyed because Ireland has great food quality. Honest to God, it's really amazing. So you can always get good food here. The music scene was something that was new and very vibrant for me. The music scene in Singapore generally centered around very commercial music, or maybe when bigger artists, international artists, came to do their shows over there. But in Ireland, the music scene is much more organic. People play instruments, they sing, they have a whole culture built around music and performances, and there are so many venues that are there for people to put up their skills at. So the scene is definitely a lot more vibrant over here.
Cool. And when did you get into music yourself?
Yeah, my entry was somewhat interesting. I wasn't really someone with a music background, except that I maybe used to party a lot back in the day. When I moved here, I had recently gotten a stronger interest in electronic music, particularly in techno and house. And I had a lot of spare time on my hands the year that we moved here. So I needed to look for a new hobby, and I decided to one day search how to DJ on YouTube, and the journey just started.
Okay, so were you into non-electronic music first, or did you get into music directly through electronic music?
I mean, in my school and my formative years, probably a lot of pop music and rock music, because that's what my friends listened to. And then I got exposed to electronic music through my friends when I went to college. A lot of your 90s trance and deep house, that's where it all sort of started to come together. And I went to a couple of EDM festivals while I was there. And the very last time, that was in 2017, there was one particular moment, and that was when a producer DJ named Emily Lenz, and she was playing a set on the beach. And I just thought, what is this new sound? It was just something very different than what I was used to, and it was very addictive. So I stayed at that stage for the whole of the set, and ever since then I was hooked.
So you just looked up how to DJ on YouTube, and then did you say, okay, I'm going to try this?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. No, there's a little more to it. I kept on going through it for a while, and then I started to look up what was the hardware, what was an entry point for me that I could get started. And my wife was quite encouraging, because she also felt I needed a new hobby. And so I got on with it, started practicing, started learning. I had a few friends from the old days who dropped me some information, and then I made some new friends over here who taught me a whole lot as well.
Cool. And then did you start playing parties or what?
For a long time I was actually just playing at home, and I was hosting my friends to play at parties, and they encouraged me to try out and play live at a club, and that is something that I wanted to do. So I started putting mixes together, put it up on SoundCloud, and sent it to a bunch of different promoters, and the journey just started from there.
Okay, and what places did you play in the beginning?
For this, I really have to thank Electronic Party Ireland, which gave me my first big break. They run the monthly and bi-monthly Hotbox events, and they gave me a shot on the terrace at the Sound House back in February of last year. and I got hooked. I got absolutely hooked.
And where have you played since then?
Since then, I've gotten to play at a few different venues. I've played at Soundhouse numerous times. In fact, very regularly over there. I've played at Bow Lane. I've played at the now defunct Dashi, and among that, some other smaller and more private venues as well.
All right. Any of them your favorite? Any venue you like playing?
Well, I'm really used to playing at the Soundhouse, so that's definitely one place.
In the main room?
In the main room a couple of times. I really had a lot of fun playing in the basement of the pawn shop.
Oh yeah.
The acoustics and the audio for that place are just great.
I know.
So it's a lot of fun.
I was there.
Playing. Oh yes.
All right. And so, what are you doing at the moment now?
At the moment, I'm involved in a couple of different projects. So, firstly, of course, I'm busy creating my own content, posting that to Instagram, posting that to YouTube. I recently joined up with a collective called Simbiotico. Simbiotico was formed about a year ago, and I got to make friends with them. And the founder, Andres, and I clicked. So I've played a few events with them, and I'm going to be playing a couple of events with them throughout the summer. I played with another promoter called Dublin Events, and they recently had their inaugural techno party called Heavy Vibrations at the Soundhouse again.
Okay.
Played for them, and then I played at the Berlin Acid Party a couple of times over at the Pawn Shop basement. Occasionally I play for Music Machines Masters as well. I'm going to be spinning for them tomorrow on Saturday the 6th as well.
Cool. Nice.
That's on the DJing side. On the content side, a couple of projects are taking place now. So firstly, I've looked at recording long-form video content.
Well, I saw your rooftop mix. That was brilliant.
That was an interesting project because I looked up a couple of DJs that I was following, and they'd recorded mixes outdoors in interesting locations. And what I noticed was absolutely nobody had done that here in, at least in Dublin. There was one guy in Northern Ireland called Richie Blacker who did a couple of cool mixes outdoors, and I got my inspiration. And Andres and I got together. We put our heads together about this whole thing, and we got a plan up and running. And then we found a location in the city center, and we collaborated with a couple of folks. So that was the team from Dublin Events and our photographer, videographer, Ron Lenscraft. We all got together, we recorded 2 mixes. Andres will be releasing his one quite soon. Mine is already up on YouTube, as you know. We're also putting together a small studio in my house where I'm going to be recording long form mixes. I'm also going to be recording mixes with other artists and other DJs, and going to be putting that up online as well.
Cool. You've got a lot of exciting stuff coming up.
Definitely.
All right. And then where can people find you?
Where can people find me? They can find me on my Instagram profile, hamza.hayabusa.
Okay.
They can find me on YouTube.
Hayabusa after the bike?
Hayabusa after the motorcycle.
Are you a motorcycle fan?
I used to race motorcycles in my previous life.
So what was your Instagram handle again?
My Instagram handle is hamza.hayabusa.
All right. Have you got a SoundCloud?
I have a SoundCloud as well, HMZ DJ. You can, I guess, link that in the description.
We will, of course.
And I'm posting pretty much every week. I'm posting up new mixes. One of the really interesting collaborations I did on SoundCloud is with DJs overseas, both in Pakistan and in the US, where we've recorded and collated mixes together and put them online. And we're going to do some video content as well in the near future.
Sounds great. Well, thanks for coming in. It was great to speak to you.
Thanks very much for having me. It's a pleasure.
You're very welcome.
Right.
See you soon.
Cheers.
Thanks.